This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. Leon Erickson and Pepsi Corporation have parted ways. Erickson broke up a contract with Pepsi for only $20 for 2 years. The tricky card shark says he can make that much money for one admission at his hotel. Pepsi will not ask Erickson to honor this contract if he asked associate Abdul Sadiq Gaddafi to do the commercial with his two wives. WLEE has now become the #1 station in the United States, recently passing NBC in the final ratings in the end of 1987. Owners Brian Lee and Eric Lee are now making serious plans to go international sometime in 1989, an unprecedented act. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. After 2 years of threats, tortures, and spying, Pat Wells and Eric Lee will have to find something else to hunt on their show. Snoopy, the brightest star since Benji, will duck out of the hit series Beagle Hunt. Wilma George will have to find another station to argue on. WLEE has canceled the show because of consistent low ratings. Lottery winner Rocky Balacino has offered Eric Lee and Brian Lee $17 million for WLEE. Eric and Brian responded thanks, but no thanks. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon for the Hollywood Minute. Pat Wells has won the Best Interviewer at this past week's Academy Awards. He says he's both pleased and surprised. Meanwhile, Brian Lee and Ann Blank won the Best Interview team for their coverage of the Junior Golf Classic. The Basketball Ethics Committee has stopped the episode of Pat Sutton's Basketball Tips, where he demonstrates how to get the ref on your side. Pat says he'll appeal the decision. WLEE has covered a large variety of sports events, but their owners want to do more, exploring other sports, and hope to add volleyball to the long list of quality sporting events. The event is tentatively scheduled for sometime this spring or this summer. This is Sandy Kenyon for the Hollywood Minute. Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. NBC is in an uproar because for the first time since that show opened, the highly rated Cosby Show failed to win its time slot. The show was taken over by WLEE's airing of the Junior Senior Volleyball Challenge. Millions of viewers flocked to see Eric's friends and Brian's friends battle it out in an exhausting marathon 5-set match where volleyball was meant to be played at the beach. The Food and Drug Administration is considering taking Natural Light cereal off the shelves. WLEE says it will continue to air its commercials until it gets official word of its ban. Natural Light says there's no clear linkage of the 20 fatalities to their cereal. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. The Lee family gathered in Jackson, Mississippi to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Harold and Maggie's marriage. WLEE was there to cover the event when all 5 of the children brought their own families to join in the celebration, and all the grandchildren gave their special tribute on this historic event. Across the country in Los Angeles, some of the most talented dogs in America gathered in the 3rd annual Dogs Award competition. Judges say it was a very tough decision, with stars like Lassie, Rin Tin Tin, Mike the Dog, and Spuds McKenzie. But Snoopy, the star of the Beagle Hunt, was awarded first place. Snoopy flattered judges with his silly antics imitating a dog in distress. The early favorite, Benji, solemnly left the ceremony, and here he comes in second. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. After junior-senior challenges in bowling, softball, volleyball, football, and basketball, WLEE has decided to call it quits. Rumors are that the decision to end the challenges was induced by the poor rating that the last challenge, football, received. The owners flatly deny the rumors, saying it was simply time to move on. The last junior-senior challenge, which is expected to be the best ever, will be in basketball later this summer. Owners Brian Lee and Eric Lee insist this is not the end of WLEE, but a new beginning. They now plan to focus all of their time producing top-ranked shows, like Eric Lee and Pat Wells' Hot Seats, which have consistently topped the ratings. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. Despite predictions of doom when it ended its sports challenges, WLEE is still going strong. Combining forces with Dimension Cable, Channel 43, the two networks produce Peninsula Scoreboard, which reviews sports events on the Palos Verdes Peninsula. The show includes highlights, commentaries, trivia questions, and health tips. WLEE's Brian Lee and Dan Carice host the show. In other news, WLEE's first mystery, featuring an all-star cast, has been filmed and was released for public viewing in the fall of 1989. The show's popularity is now being closely watched to determine whether or not a sequel will be made. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. Congratulations to Brian Lee, who graduated from UCLA with a Bachelor of Arts in International Economics. All of Brian's family and friends gathered to celebrate this incredible accomplishment, and WLEE was there to cover the event in order to obtain many of the guests' surprising reactions. The event was a complete success, as all 55 of the guests enjoyed appetizers, dinner, and a graduation cake. The star-studded event closed with Brian opening a variety of breathtaking presents. WLEE is fighting an identity crisis. Planning to make a decision later, the network has already narrowed the possible mascot down to 3 candidates: Curious George, Wild Willie the Bird, and the late great Snoopy. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. Bud Light Corporation will continue to urge viewers to buy Bud Light while stressing that anything else is just a lie. The company stated that beer sales have skyrocketed since airing the commercials on WLEE and promised that they will not be outbid for commercial spots during any future WLEE event. Bud Light also announced that they are considering filming a new star-studded commercial. The Who family, winners of $26 million in the California lottery, are up in arms because 1/4 of their $4 million estate was wrecked last week. Mr. and Mrs. Who announced that they will be suing the popular handyman Leon Jones for the damages. In his defense, Mr. Jones says that the couple should have realized the possibility of mishap, and after all, no one's perfect. Mr. Jones complains that the couple rejected his generous proposal of 10% off any future repairs. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. Murder by the Millions, WLEE's second mystery, hit TV screens in the summer of 1990 and was a smashing success. The spine-tingling thriller, shot in El Cerrito, California, was #1 in the Nielsen ratings for the month of June in its network debut. Pudgy Piglet and Mr. Forever are also benefiting from WLEE's growth. Forever battery sales have tripled since they first aired their commercials on WLEE. However, much of their profits will be used to fight off lawsuits which claim infringement on their commercials by the well-job of Pudgy. The lawsuits were filed by 2 parties, an outraged Excedrin aspirin and the angered California Lottery. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. WLEE and Walt Disney have shook hands on a deal. From the deal, WLEE's Eric Lee, Franz Bakuli, Patrick Sutton, and Arita Wong became the first reporters of a major station to give a tour of Disneyland. The exciting tour, which included rides on the Pirates of the Caribbean, the Disneyland Railroad, Haunted House, Star Tours, the Skyway to Tomorrowland, It's a Small World, Alice in Wonderland, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Bear's Country Jamboree, and Thunder Mountain show why Disneyland is still the happiest place on Earth. WLEE also proved they can still produce blockbuster sports events. Brian Lee and Jeffrey Wright report the Point Vincenti All-Star Slam Dunk Challenge. After its almost 2-year hiatus from sports events, a record number of WLEE viewers enjoyed the high-flying 360 slam dunk action during the game and in the slam dunk contest. The event was such a hit, with Nike shoes and Minute Maid say they would like to do some commercials with the game's participants. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. Congratulations to Eric Lee, who after 16 years of schooling is now a college graduate. Eric joins his brother Brian as a graduate from a University of California. Eric received his diploma from the Haas School of Business at UC Berkeley. After his graduation ceremony, many of Eric's friends and family celebrated this historic achievement. At his reception, Eric cut out his cake, gave a speech, and opened many presents. But the highlight of the evening was when many of the guests split up into groups to take a test. But this was no ordinary test. All of the questions of the test were about Eric, and everyone enjoyed working together to figure out the answers. The 30-question multiple-choice test ended with 2 groups in a virtual tie. The tough, humorous test brought out both complaints and laughter. WLEE continues to expand. The network recently bought the late Jim Henson Muppets. WLEE will begin airing the promos featuring the Muppets beginning in the spring of 1991. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. It's the 3rd anniversary of the moment when Brian and Eric Lee announced the end of the Junior-Senior Challenges. But 3 years later, sports on WLEE is still going strong. There are blockbuster ratings for the network's 2nd softball telecast. Andrew Yu and Vince Jarman report on Halloween night a softball game involving Eric Lee's Bottom Line softball team. The primetime telecast attracted audiences from around the world. WLEE affiliates from 7 continents and 47 countries covered the game. And the large audiences were treated to an exciting game. Viewers saw a large number of exciting, breathtaking defensive plays. Despite the tough defense, both teams' powerful bats is what stood out in this high-scoring game. The Bottom Line softball team and the Bong Hit softball team each played with enormous intensity as the game came down to the final play. Also receiving good ratings was WLEE's airing of a basketball game between Eric's friends during Eric's graduation weekend. Although only receiving a modest rating internationally, the basketball game received a 38.9 rating in the United States, a figure only surpassed by this year's Super Bowl, aired on CBS. This was WLEE's 2nd non-junior-senior basketball game. Although it lacked some of the rivalry and intensity of a junior-senior game, owners Brian and Eric Lee claim that they are still pleased with the telecast. The owners hinted that it wouldn't be long before viewers would be treated to another sporting event. They are presently taking bids for $15,000 each for a 30-second commercial spot on the next sports telecast. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. WLEE. on vacation. The network invades one of the biggest tourist spots in the world, beautiful Lake Tahoe. Reporters Eric Lee, Alan Horesco, Franz Bakuli, and Patrick Sutton give a grand tour of the hot tourist spot while celebrating their 10-year friendship. The wild tour took them alongside the lake, in the depths of the sea life along neighboring streams, making huge fires at night in the fireplace, horsing around in their spacious condominium, exciting safari hunts in the deep backwoods of Catalina, and on a speedboat in the middle of Lake Tahoe. The trip, in short, was a definite success. On a sad note, the head of the Bowman family passed away last spring. Nathaniel Logan Bowman died at the age of 96. However, his spry spirit will live on forever. WLEE has begun to air a documentary honoring Nathaniel Bowman. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. WLEE and CNN have combined forces. WLEE's own Eric Lee and Gary Kurtzman hosted CNN Sports for 6 weeks during the NFL season. The popular show included an analysis of the spreads, NFL highlights, and an in-depth interview with a representative of the NFL team. Rumors are flying high at WLEE Univision. The rumors say the network soon plans to air a blooper show. But owner Brian Lee, in a recent interview, says he can only laugh at such rumors. Brian stated that the network has no intention of lowering its prestigious status by airing such a silly show. He reaffirmed the fact that he is already satisfied with the network's lineup of shows. The rumors started because the network has accumulated a large number of funny bloopers over the years. Also fueling the rumors were the fact that NBC's Bloopers and Practical Jokes and ABC's America's Funniest Home Videos have beaten many WLE shows. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute. Robert Sports Jackson still has a job, but he might want to keep an eye on the classified ads, because this 3-minute segment called The Latest Trends in Sports has received modest ratings at best. Although Robert would not comment on the microscopic ratings, the network says it would continue to look closely at the ratings of the upcoming segments, which feature young athletes before making a decision. Better news for Gloria Lee and Gene Oliver. WLEE has decided to extend their contract another 2 years. The two teamed up to host WLEE's scenic tour of the beautiful country of Spain. The infamous Dr. Pepper is now missing. The speedy dog was last seen running off the set of his new film. His trainers in the Humane Society believe he could be from anywhere from Alaska to Florida right now. His trainers think he was trying to get away from his own shadow. This is Sandy Kenyon with the Hollywood Minute.